Hi everyone, so welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make the most delicious Ghanaian jollof rice ever. If you want to see how it's made, stay tuned. Enjoy! Okay guys, so I'm going to be showing you guys the ingredients that I used. I used 4 red onions. I used about 8 to 9 plum tomatoes. Look at how beautiful they are. I used about 3 Scotch bonnet peppers. I also use mixed vegetables. I like to have my jollof rice very colorful, so I love to have a lot of vegetables inside. I had saved up chicken broth from the time that I had made this chicken earlier, so this is my chicken broth. I have tomato paste and I have mackerel. I have 5 cups of rice, long grain jasmine rice that is. I also like to use a lot of spices, so I have curry, chicken powder, onion, garlic, ginger, paprika, Maggi Cube, and salt. I also have my trusted Ninja blender. It's the best blender that I've ever had, so you guys need to go get one. And last but not least, I have my meat. I have goat meat. You can use any meat you prefer to use, but I prefer to use goat meat. So here I'm chopping my onions up for the beginning process of the jollof rice, which is basically making a tomato stew. So we have onions as our base with oil, but you'll see that part coming up. Here I have my onions, my garlic, and my ginger for preparing the goat meat, so I can steam it and make it, let it cook very well. And so these are the things I'm going to blend and then mix it with the meat. And here I have my habaneros. I'm cutting my habaneros up. They're going to be the base along with the onions for the tomato stew. I think I'm just going to use 2 because of the children. I don't want it to be too spicy. So here I'm coming to wash my meats with vinegar and lemon. These 2 ingredients help to kind of get the meat really clean and also get the meat to taste well. So here I have the meat mixed in with the garlic and the ginger and the onions all blended up, along with a little bit of salt and a few of the spices that I had earlier. So I'm going to wash the tomatoes and then I'm going to cut them up in half, and I'm going to squeeze the seeds out and as much of the water as I can to kind of help the cooking process for the tomato paste or the tomato stew, the base for the jollof rice. And then I'm going to, after cutting it in half, I'm going to blend them. Okay, so here I have my tomato paste. With the tomato paste, I'm going to take it out of the can and I'm going to mix it in a small bowl with a little bit of water so that it can spread easier with the base of the tomato stew. So I prefer to put a little bit of water in the tomato paste in order to help it mix well with the base of the tomato stew. You don't have to do this if you don't prefer to do this, but I like to do this because, like I said, it makes it easier. Okay, we have our meat. Our meat is starting to sizzle. Oh my gosh, the aroma from this pot is absolutely amazing. If you were here, you would just love it. It smells so good. So we're gonna blend our. So here we're going to blend our plum tomatoes. I like to do everything ahead of time. I don't like to blend things while the fire is on. So I like to chop my onions and blend my tomatoes prior to even putting the fire on the pot. So once I get everything, organized, then I'm ready to go with the stove. Like I focus on what's in the pot. So here I have my trusted cast iron pot. I love this pot with all my heart. And I have my oil on the fire. It's on medium. I also have my trusted wooden spatula that I always use to make my jollof rice. And as you can see, like I mentioned earlier, the fire is on a medium to high temperature. So here the meat is almost ready. It's looked like it's pretty much done, but I just want to make sure that it's well done. So my oil seems to be warmed up. So I'm going to add my onions and my habanero peppers. I'm mixing my oil and my red onions and my habanero peppers together until the onions are kind of golden brown. This is a little trick, guys. So if you don't want your Maggi Cube to be so hard, before you put it in your stew, you can soften it up by leaving it on the stove. So here my onions became a little bit light brown. They're still kind of light, but I don't want them to burn. So I put in the tomato paste and I'm mixing it all up together and kind of making it smooth. Now that my tomato paste has smoothed out into the base of the stew, I'm going to add my fresh plum tomatoes. So I'm preheating my oven to put my meat in the oven. I prefer to have it baked in the oven, but you can choose your preference. Here I'm just lining the glass pan that I'm going to use for the meat with a little bit of oil so that the meat doesn't stick to it. So my goat meat is all cooked. It's nice and juicy, so I'm going to put it in the oven. Can't wait! My tomatoes are mixing nicely with the base of the tomato stew. Looks good, looks really good. So now I'm going to put in my mackerel and my chicken broth or chicken stock. So here I'm adding in all my spices that I showed you earlier, my chicken powder, onion powder, garlic powder, and you remember the rest. But all the ingredients that I used, I will list them down below. So after about 25 to 30 minutes, our meat is finally baked and fresh out of the oven. It looks so amazing and so yummy. So here I have my rice. I like to wash my rice about 2 to 3 times just to make sure there's nothing in there, like any small particles. And once I'm done washing it, I'll add it to the tomato stew to make it official, to make it officially jollof rice. So I prefer to use long grain jasmine rice. It smells good and makes the food taste amazing, so it's a great option. So this is another trick, guys. Just put aluminum foil underneath the pot cover in order to maintain the steam so the rice is not mushy. So lastly, I'm adding my vegetables to the mix. I like to add them towards the end because I don't want them to be too mushy, and I want them to have, you know, not to lose all the nutrients inside. So they don't take that long to cook, so it's kind of steaming with the rice while it's in the pot. So I like to add it towards the end. Also, I added a green bell pepper in with the vegetables to kind of give it a nice aroma as well. So it's another option you guys can choose to do, but it makes it smell so good. So there you have it, guys. We've made our official Ghanaian jollof rice. Everyone knows it's the best jollof rice in the world. Sorry, Nigeria. That beef is never gonna end. But until then, but yeah, just please like, subscribe, share, and give it a thumbs up. And please, let's support each other. Thank you so much for watching. Until my next vlog. Bye.